The coffee cup shattered against the diner's tiled floor like a gunshot. Hot liquid splattering across my ankles, burning through my thin stockings. But it wasn't the pain that made me freeze. It was the sight of my brother Marcus, lounging in his gleaming black SUV outside the window. His lips curled in that signature smirk as he watched me scramble. He didn't even bother to hide it anymore. His eyes locking onto mine through the glass, mocking me with a slow, deliberate shake of his head. Pathetic, I could almost hear him mouth, though the roar of the morning rush drowned it out. Fury ignited in my chest, a white-hot blaze that choked my throat, but I swallowed it down, pasting on a smile for the customer who'd knocked the cup from my tray. Inside, though, I seethed. One day, Marcus, you'll shatter too. And I'll be the one watching. Every morning started like this, a ritual of humiliation etched into my bones. I'd rise before dawn in the cramped apartment above Grandpa's diner, the air thick with the scent of stale grease and his labored breathing from the next room. At 5 a.m. I'd slip downstairs, flip on the flickering neon sign, Joe's Place, and start brewing coffee that smelled like burnt earth. By 6, the regulars trickled in. Truckers with oil-stained hands, nurses ending night shifts, their eyes hollow as mine. I'd serve them with mechanical efficiency, my apron pockets heavy with crumpled tips, all while Grandpa wheezed in his wheelchair behind the counter, his once strong hands trembling as he counted change. And then, like clockwork, Marcus would arrive. Not to help, not to visit, God forbid, but to parade his success. His SUV would pull up curbside, engine purring like a satisfied predator, and he'd sip his takeout latte from some upscale chain, never stepping foot inside. Sometimes he'd honk, drawing stares, or roll down the window to yell something cutting. Still slinging hash, sis? Law school's calling. Oh wait, you missed that boat. Laughter would follow, his or imagined, echoing in my skull long after he drove off to his corner office downtown. That morning, as I mopped up the spill, the shards crunching under my sneakers, I felt the resentment coil tighter. Why him? Why did the universe hand Marcus everything? A scholarship I'd helped him apply for, a career built on our family's sacrifices, while I rotted here. Grandpa had raised us after Mom died young and Dad bolted, pouring his life into this diner. I'd given up my dreams to care for him after the stroke 2 years ago, dropping out of community college mid-semester. Marcus. He visited once a month, if that, always with that condescending pity. "You're a saint, Elena," he'd say, but his eyes screamed loser. I dumped the broken pieces into the trash, the clang reverberating through the empty diner. Grandpa rolled over, his voice a gravelly whisper. "You okay, kiddo?" "Fine," I lied, forcing a grin. But inside, denial cracked like the cup. No, I wasn't fine. The mockery wasn't just words. It was a blade twisting deeper each day. Heartbreak mingled with anger. Marcus had been my protector once, the big brother who'd punched bullies for me in school. Now, he was the bully. As the breakfast crowd swelled, the diner's chaos enveloped me. The sizzle of bacon on the griddle, the clatter of silverware, the hum of tired conversations. I weaved between tables, balancing plates that steamed with eggs and toast, my arms aching from the weight. A fantasy flickered, me smashing a plate over Marcus's head, yolk dripping down his tailored suit. But doubt followed. Would it change anything? He was untouchable, a rising star at Hargrove and Associates, defending corporations that crushed places like ours. By noon, the rush ebbed, leaving me to wipe counters slick with syrup. Grandpa napped in the back, his oxygen tank hissing softly. I stole a moment at the register, staring at the faded photo taped there. Us as kids, grinning with Grandpa at the beach. Simpler times. My phone buzzed, a text from Marcus. Lunch meeting ran long. Swing by later. No apology, just command. Resentment surged, but I typed back. Sure. Why? Habit. Hope he'd change. He arrived at 2 p.m., striding in for once, his polished shoes clicking on the floor like judgments. The diner smelled of fried onions and coffee dregs. He wrinkled his nose. "Place needs a facelift, Gramps," he said, clapping Grandpa on the shoulder too hard. Grandpa winced but smiled weakly. "Doing fine, son." Marcus turned to me, his blue eyes, mirror of mine, cold. "Elena, you look exhausted. Ever think about hiring help?" "Oh right, can't afford it." His laugh was sharp like glass. I gripped the counter, knuckles white. "We're managing. Thanks for the concern." He leaned in, voice low. "Come on, sis. This life's killing you. Sell the place, put Gramps in a home. I know developers who'd pay top dollar." Humiliation burned my cheeks. Sell. This was Grandpa's legacy, our home. Over my dead body. He shrugged, smirking. "Suit yourself. Just saying, you're wasting away here." He tossed a 20 on the counter, "For what pity?" and left SUV roaring away. That night, alone in my room, obsession took root. I paced the creaky floorboards, the city lights flickering through threadbare curtains. Why did he push selling? Hidden motives gnawed at me. I rifled through Grandpa's desk, finding old papers. The diner's deed, bills piling up. One caught my eye. A letter from Hargrove and Associates, Marcus's firm, representing a real estate conglomerate eyeing our block for condos. My heart plummeted. Betrayal crystallized. Marcus wasn't just mocking me. He was orchestrating our ruin. Guilt twisted in, had I missed signs? But anger overpowered it. I imagined confronting him. His face crumpling. "No, too easy." Revenge whispered, "Make him pay." Doubt crept in, was I capable? Moral conflict raged. He was family, but so was Grandpa. The next morning the ritual repeated. SUV outside, smirk intact. But now I smiled back, cold resolve hardening. Subtle hints emerged. I accidentally texted him a photo of the letter, feigning confusion. His reply was frantic. "Delete that." Misunderstanding. Tension built, quiet and strategic. Days blurred into a slow burn. I observed Marcus closer, noting his routines. Gym at dawn, office till late, weekends with his trophy girlfriend. Inner thoughts churned. Fantasies of exposing him to his firm, watching his career implode. Fear nipped. What if it backfired? Grandpa's health declined. His coughs echoing like accusations. One evening, over lukewarm soup, Grandpa confessed. "Marcus, he's been helping with finances." My stomach dropped. Helping. Or stealing? I probed gently, but he waved it off, eyes distant. Suspense mounted. I tailed Marcus once, heart pounding in the shadows of his parking garage, watching him meet a shady developer. Snippets of dialogue floated. "The old man's stubborn, but I'll handle it." Rage boiled, layered with heartbreak. He'd sell us out for a commission. Planning began in earnest. I'd gather proof, hacked emails. No, too risky. Instead, quiet manipulation. Befriend his secretary, plant doubts. Moral grayness settled. Was revenge justice or dissent? The first act came subtly. At a family dinner, rare, tense, I spilled wine on his phone, apologizing profusely while glimpsing his texts. Confirmations of bribes. He snapped, clumsy as ever, but suspicion flickered in his eyes. Tension rose, a coiled spring. I lay awake, obsessing. He'd mocked me for years, belittled my sacrifices. Now I'd turn the tables. But guilt lingered. What if Grandpa forgave him? The rain hammered the diner's roof like fists, mirroring the storm in my chest as I stared at the forged document in my hands. It was a power of attorney, Grandpa's signature scrawled shakily, but dated before his stroke when his hand was steady. Marcus's doing, no doubt, granting him control over the property. I'd found it buried in Grandpa's safe, the metal cold against my fingers in the dead of night. Shock jolted me. This wasn't just betrayal, it was theft. Fury surged, raw and unfiltered, but beneath it, heartbreak cracked open. My brother, my blood, reducing us to pawns. I crumpled the paper, tears mixing with rain streaking the window, resolve crystallizing. He'd pay, not with violence, but with everything he valued. The pursuit intensified, a slow burn obsession consuming my days. Mornings at the diner blurred. The clang of pots, the steam from griddles fogging mirrors, customers' chatter, a distant hum. I served with a detached smile, mind racing through plans. Inner conflict raged. Part of me screamed to confront him outright, watch his lies unravel. But doubt whispered, what if I lost Grandpa in the crossfire? Fantasies shifted from blunt force to surgical precision. Expose the forgery, ruin his license, let the law devour him. I started small, building suspense like a tightening noose. An anonymous tip to his firm about ethical concerns. Vague enough to unsettle, pointed enough to sting. His calls came frantic. Elena, you hear any rumors? Office is buzzing. I feigned innocence, voice sweet. No idea, bro. Maybe karma. He laughed it off, but tension laced his words. Don't be ridiculous. Help Gramps sign those papers. It's for his good. Manipulation deepened. I visited his office unannounced. The lobby sleek with marble floors and echoing footsteps. His secretary, a mousy woman named Carla, eyed me curiously. Family emergency, I lied, slipping her a coffee laced with sympathy. Over weeks, casual chats revealed cracks. Marcus's late nights, shady clients, pressure to close deals. He's changed, she confided once, her voice hushed amid the click of keyboards. Ambitious. Too much. Guilt gnawed as I pumped her for info. Was I becoming like him? But resentment overpowered. He'd mocked me from his SUV throne while I scrubbed floors. Sensory details anchored my resolve. The burn of bleach on my hands, Grandpa's wheezing breaths, the SUV's exhaust fumes choking the air each morning. Suspense built in quiet moments. One night, tailing him again, rain slicking the streets, I watched from a shadowed alley as he argued with a developer in a dimly lit bar. Glasses clinked, smoke curled, his voice rose. The sister's suspicious. Speed it up. My pulse thundered. Fear mingled with cold calculation. He knew I was onto him, but underestimated my rage. Planning escalated. I researched forgeries online in stolen hours. The screen's glow illuminating my face like a ghost. Moral conflict peaked. Revenge felt justified, but at what cost? Obsession blurred lines. I dreamed of his downfall, waking sweat-soaked, heart racing. The pivot came mid-story. External action mirroring inner turmoil. I confronted Grandpa gently. The diner empty save for the hum of the fridge. This document. It's fake, isn't it? His eyes, watery and wise, met mine. Marcus said it was for protection. Heartbreak hit. He'd trusted, been manipulated. I won't let him, I vowed, voice breaking. He gripped my hand, frail but firm. Be careful, kiddo. Family's all we got. But was it? That night I planted the seed. Emailed a journalist friend anonymously, attaching scanned proof. Corrupt lawyer sells out family. Tension soared, would it backfire? Marcus sensed it. His SUV visits grew erratic, honks sharper. One morning he burst in, rain dripping from his coat, face thunderous. What the hell, Elena? My boss called, questions about conflicts. I poured coffee calmly, steam rising like secrets. Sounds stressful. Maybe lay off the shady deals. His eyes narrowed, suppressed rage bubbling. You have no idea what you're messing with. Oh, I do, I whispered, heart pounding. The air thickened, charged with unspoken threats. Revenge unfolded in layers. Carla, now an ally, leaked emails. Bribes, forged signatures. I compiled a dossier, hands trembling on the keyboard in the diner's back office, the scent of cooling pies mocking the bitterness. Climax approached, pacing quickening. I arranged a family meeting at the diner after hours. Lights dim, shadows dancing on walls. Grandpa wheeled in, face pale. Marcus arrived wary, SUV parked crookedly outside. Dialogue cut like knives. What's this about? He demanded, loosening his tie. I slid the dossier across the table, papers rustling. Your masterpiece. Forgery, betrayal, all for a payout. He paled but recovered with a smirk. Exaggerating, sis. It's business. Grandpa's voice cracked. You lied to me, son. Marcus's facade crumbled slightly. Guilt. I was helping. This place is a sinkhole. Rage exploded in me. Helping. By mocking me every day, stealing our home. He leaned forward, voice venomous. You chose this life. Jealous much? The twist detonated. As tempers flared, Grandpa revealed his own secret. I knew about the forgery months ago. Tested you both. Shock rippled. Marcus stammered. What? Grandpa's eyes hardened. Elena fought for us. You. Greed. He'd alerted authorities quietly, using my tips as cover. Marcus's firm was investigating. Arrest imminent. Poetic justice struck. Marcus's SUV, symbol of his mockery, towed that night for parking violations, I'd anonymously reported. He left defeated, rain soaking him, no smirk left. But unexpected consequences lingered. As Grandpa hugged me, guilt resurfaced. I'd manipulated, lied. Was I better? Heartbreak softened to resolve. We'd rebuild, but scars remained. In the quiet aftermath, the diner felt alive again. Neon buzzing. Revenge tasted bittersweet, a cold echo of the fury that started it all. Marcus called once, voice broken. Sis, I'm sorry. I hung up, obsession fading, but the hook's jolt. It lingered, a reminder of how betrayal births monsters in us all.